So when you think about ABM, what does that mean for you? Like, walk us through how many accounts you're actually targeting. Are you just looking at it as if it's the whole universe, or narrow that down for us a little bit and what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. You're spot on. There's, account-based marketing's been around forever, and people have different interpretations of what it actually means in the application of their own business. But the way that we think about it at Alyce is we know our software is the perfect fit for really only a handful of companies. Yes, personal gifting and corporate gifting can be used by nearly anybody, right? But we need to have some discipline around the accounts that are going to be able to see the best results and the best success with our platform. So by the time we think about what all those different attributes of what an ideal customer looks like for us, that leaves us with around 4,000 or so accounts that we think, if we're able to successfully acquire, that's going to have our best chance for, retention and expansion within those customers. And then below that, when we, ABM, if you think about it in a pyramid, like really the very top of that pyramid, those tier ones or those platinums, however you kind of, tier out your accounts, only about a fifth of those are like what we consider our gold accounts. So that's only a couple of hundred that we think are like, let's put, it's the 80-20 rule. Let's put 80 or 20% of our focus into getting the 80% of that reward. And so that's sort of what we look at. And then within that, our sales team actually has an even finer subset of like what they consider their whales, or what they consider their, their North Star, if you will, for accounts they want to go after. And that's only a handful per AE.
And so in that context is helpful from a 4,000 accounts at kind of the top, or like the universe in which you're going after. Walk us through how that changes, or how are you targeting all 4,000 at one point, and then kind of shifting that depending on how things happen, or just walk us through that process and how you narrow that down?
Yeah, so we refine our ICP constantly. And we don't make, like, the pendulum doesn't swing too far. We don't decide we're like a B2C company now, right? Like we know our swim lane for the most part, and it takes a lot of discipline. I've been with Alyce for just over a year and a half now. When I first joined up, our ICP, there are a couple of different ways we can go in. So it takes some discipline, and it takes some time to really kind of refine what those attributes look like. And of course, the more customers you acquire, the more attributes you can then point back to see what actually is making those folks successful. But with that being said, about every quarter or so, our team looks at our ICP, we look at our criteria, and we say, hey, have we made any adjustments here? I think a lot of brands right now are moving up market in the wake of some of the shifts in the market that we're seeing. And so as a result of that, some things within your ICP need to change, and you need to maybe adjust your territory lines within your sales team. You need to adjust your marketing strategies to figure out, how to speak to the enterprise, or whatever those adjustments that you are making. But then also putting the onus on our sales reps to really, keep a strong pulse on what their active, rated account lists are, and trading accounts in and out as they see fit. Because, there's a lot of gray area, I think, when it comes to assessing what makes somebody a potential great customer for you. And it's not as binary. It's just looking at, employee size and revenue targets.